Ladies and gentlemen, this XRP Ripple video is the most crucial one ever created. The Ripple against SEC court case is nearing to finish. There is only one more optimistic indication available here. Nobody is ready for the huge XRP coin rally we are in midst of. According to experts, XRP's price might explode to $30,000. Sounds neat, sure? Don't miss one of these videos. Let us start now. Note, disclaimers. At last, the protracted and violent court struggle between Ripple Labs and the Securities and Exchange Commission is nearing close end, and this time, it seems actual. Following more than 4 years of lawsuits, public comments, partial rulings, and market stress, both Ripple and the SEC have jointly submitted a motion to the Manhattan District Court asking to remove the injunction maintaining $125 million in escrow. Once locked in strong opposition, the two sides are now requesting the court to approve a $50 million punishment significantly lower than the initial $150 million and let the remaining $75 million be returned to Ripple. In crypto circles, this is considered as a huge signal indicating the last chapter of this historic case is opening. Well-known crypto speaker on X Edo Farina stated it out nicely. In their continuing litigation, SEC and Ripple have jointly sought a Manhattan District Court to remove the injunction and release the $125 million civil penalty kept in escrow. The end is drawing near. The sentence, "The end is coming," speaks especially to XRP fans who have endured years of legal ambiguity, casting a shadow over the validity and market performance of the token. Not only money, but also precedence drives the action from its core. This case has always exceeded Ripple in scope. The crypto business considered it as an existential danger when the SEC claimed Ripple sold unregistered securities in XRP. Judge Annalisa Torres, in a historic decision last year, nevertheless said XRP sold on public markets does not fit the definition of security. Not only for Ripple, but also for the larger digital asset sector, that decision was greeted as a triumph. The litigation remained technically open nevertheless, with a few unresolved problems, including the final penalty. Another well-known expert, John Squire, pointed out that we could at last see SEC against Ripple ending on Monday, June 16th. It's time for Judge Torres to render decisions following more than 4 years of court fighting. That choice expectedly will define whether the combined motion is approved and the matter is formally concluded. From the SEC, in this most recent action, where Gary Gensler's leadership formally leaned into an aggressive enforcement-heavy approach, the tone is shockingly different. This new joint application points to a more realistic, even cooperative attitude. The motion makes quite evident that both sides desire to avoid more litigation. More importantly, it suggests a common goal in shifting toward a regulatory framework instead of ongoing litigation conflict. The file is massive, but the Bitcoin market hardly fluttered. Not because of the news itself, XRP fell in the hours following the announcement, in line with an overall dip in market mood that day. Although the price action might not reflect it, legally and symbolically, this is enormous. Once seeming to define crypto's legal future in America, the lawsuit might now finish with a handshake, a fine and a clean runway for Ripple. Not all is settled yet, though. Judge Torres has warned that only extraordinary circumstances would justify an indicative ruling, and has previously declared portions of the legal process, in this case, inappropriate. Ripple's and the SEC contend that these conditions apply. This is not only a financial disagreement after all. In crypto history, this is among the most observed legal conflicts. Should the judge approve the motion, Ripple pays the $50 million, receives $75 million back, and leaves with its largest profit to date. It would not be a business against the government anymore. It would be the business that stayed true and assisted in redefining the legal environment for digital assets in the United States. Of course, experts couldn't just watch things happen from back off. Already they are projecting something huge, a XRP surge that might surprise everyone. We are discussing a move so surprising and explosive that even long-time holders would be startled. Wait till you see what's ahead to decide if the case was significant. For XRP, as well as the whole crypto market, this might fundamentally alter things. John Squire, therefore, let loose. Though a bold assertion, XRP is the new version of Bitcoin, which indicates a growing view that XRP might lead in the next stage of global financial revolution, not as digital gold, but rather as digital infrastructure. Digital currency Twitter is quite alive right now. Mnemonics mocked, XRP is rather close. Are you eager? One will get reward for patience. Ex-finance bull tackled the recent price drop head-on in meanwhile. Are you considering selling yet are afraid of this XRP dip? Reevaluate. About to open are the floodgates. Everything Ripple has created is aligning. These are not merely hucksters' tweets. They reflect the larger feeling of XRP adherence. The foundation is established. Now the payback is almost here. Perhaps the most startling forecasts, though, come from powerful voices like Pumpius, who lately made waves by asserting that XRP may one day exceed $10,000, not out of fantasy, but based on a thorough monetary velocity model. His thesis is, XRP sits in the middle of a global liquidity reset as the world tokenizes real-world assets, digitizes debt markets, and looks for faster, less expensive cross-border settlement. If XRP catches even 10% of the 7,500 million daily currency market, plus a portion of real-world asset, tokenization and debt settlements, Pumpius says. And if that volume turns at rapid speed, the price per XRP might find 4 or even 5-digit territory. It's a thesis challenging conventional wisdom on crypto value. As he notes, when dealing with utility tokens utilized in rapid-moving settlement layers, market cap is an unreliable indicator. Critics contend that this kind of valuation would suggest a market cap in the quadrillions, much above the scale of the world economy. Supporters respond to that rather than static value, utility should direct our perspective on assets like XRP. Pricing XRP like a stock or commodity just makes no sense if it turns into a core infrastructure asset. Still more hostile are other voices. Jack the Rippler tweeted with jaw-dropping effect, XRP could get to be $30,000. Then there is Crypto Geek, who just uploaded 3,861